Tonight's story comes from a conflicted stepmother. Her life has been intertwined with her stepdaughters for 7 years, and she's been married for 3. The girl lived with them from age 15 to 18, then moved to live with her biological mother. Their relationship is neither close nor hostile. It's that kind of connection where we exist in each other's lives, but we've never truly stepped into each other's hearts. Then the news came, 18 years old, 7 weeks pregnant. At this point, the story is already complicated enough. But what keeps this stepmother awake at night isn't the pregnancy itself. She gave birth to her own son at 15. She knows better than anyone that this path is possible, and she also knows better than anyone how hard it is. What truly keeps her up at night is the trajectory of this girl's life over the past decade. Legal trouble, multiple expulsions, juvenile detention, no high school diploma, no plans to get a GED. This is not the script of a young person with an unexpected pregnancy, but a stable foundation to rely on. So in her letter to me, the stepmother wrote something I want to read to you. She said, "I want to support you. I care about her, and obviously this baby matters to me too. But I also don't want to enable unhealthy patterns, take on the role of the baby's parent, or create a situation where we become the default safety net with no expectations for her. When I read this, I don't know how you felt. But my reaction was this woman is incredibly clear-headed. Today, we're going to talk about a topic many people avoid. When your child, even a stepchild, is in trouble, when should you reach out? And when should you pull your hand back? This is not coldness. This is wisdom. In therapy, there's a concept called functional help. It means your help either promotes growth or hinders growth. There is no middle ground. This stepmother's instinct is right. She sees a very dangerous pattern. This 18-year-old girl has never truly been held accountable for her actions. Expelled, transfer schools, legal trouble. Someone posts bail. Released from juvenile detention. There's always a home to return to. Now she's pregnant. If, at this moment, everyone rushes in and says, "It's okay, we'll raise the baby, you don't have to worry about anything," what happens? What will this girl learn? She will learn, someone will always catch me when I fall. I don't need to change. I don't need to grow up. Is that love? No. That is the opposite of love. It is using love as an excuse to keep someone stuck in a permanent state of not growing up. What makes this stepmother unique is that she herself became a mother at 15. She said, "I've lived it. I know it's possible, but I also know how hard it is even when you're motivated." That line really moved me. Because she didn't say, "I did it, so why can't you?" She didn't use her own life to invalidate someone else's. Instead, she said, "I know how hard this is, so I don't want you to walk an even harder version of this path." That is real empathy. Not "I understand you, so I'll carry it for you," but "I understand you, so I know you must carry it yourself, but I'll stand beside you." What this stepmother fears is not whether the baby will cry, go hungry, or get sick. Those problems can be solved. What she fears is, if no one sets boundaries, what kind of family system will form? Grandparents becoming the real parents, an 18-year-old mother continuing down the same path, and a new life growing up in that environment. That is the truly frightening picture. Now let's talk about this 18-year-old girl. Legal trouble, expulsions, juvenile detention. These labels make it easy to define her. A bad kid, a troubled teenager. But I wonder, could there be another way to understand her? In psychology, there's a perspective that problematic behavior is sometimes a person's most intense way of reacting to a situation where they feel powerless. I don't know what this girl has been through. I don't know what happened between her biological mother and her stepmother. I don't know why she lived with her stepmother from 15 to 18, but not earlier. But I do know one thing. When a child starts acting out at a young age, they are often saying, in the only way they know how, I'm here. I'm hurting. I don't know how to express it, so I'm using my actions to make you see me. This is not about excusing her behavior. It's about asking a deeper question. Before this pregnancy, did anyone ever truly ask her what is going on inside you? The families are planning a joint meeting. The stepmother asked, how should I show up? My suggestion is, go in with 3 questions, not 3 answers. The first question to the stepdaughter, what do you need? Not what do you need us to do, but what do you need? Give this 18-year-old, who is about to become a mother, her first opportunity to speak for herself and for her baby. The second question to everyone, what can we provide? But what will we not do for her? This is crucial. You can help her find a doctor for prenatal care, but you cannot go in her place. You can help buy baby supplies, but you cannot manage her household finances. You can take care of the baby for a weekend so she can rest, but the baby cannot live permanently with the grandparents. The third question to yourself, if she chooses not to change, what is my boundary? This is the hardest one. You must draw a line in your own heart. Above that line, you are willing to give. Below that line, you must refuse. No one else can draw that line for you because no one else knows how much you have already given and how much you have left. Finally, I want to say to this stepmother, the things you're worried about enabling unhealthy patterns, becoming the baby's parent, becoming the default safety net are not signs that you don't love her. They are proof that you see clearly. You've walked this path. You know what it takes for a 15-year-old mother to build a life. You don't want this girl to get stuck in the illusion of an easy version of that path and remain forever 18. But I also want to remind you, you are not responsible for her entire life. You never were. You have been in her life for 7 years. You are not her biological mother, but you also never left. That in itself is a profound kind of presence. Now, what you can do is this. When she decides to have this baby, when she decides to face this reality herself, stand somewhere she can see you and say, I will be here, but I will not stand in front of you. Now let's move to the second story. She is a 41-year-old mother with a 14-year-old daughter. The story begins with a seemingly small detail, the drawer in the bathroom that holds menstrual supplies. She says she restocks it every few months. But recently, she noticed something strange. The supplies were barely being used. Of course, she came up with explanations. Maybe her daughter keeps some in her backpack. Maybe the school provides them for free. It all sounded reasonable, didn't it? So she chose to believe those explanations. But then more details started to surface. Her daughter suddenly developed a taste for foods she never liked before: granola bars, almonds, rice cakes. The mother heard her vomiting in the bathroom. When she asked, the daughter said it was just a migraine. Then came the change in clothing. A girl who once loved tight shirts and crop tops now wears only loose clothing. She stopped swimming in the family pool even though it used to be her favorite thing. Then, a few days ago, when her daughter's friends came over, she finally got into the water. The mother went out to buy drinks, and from a distance, she saw her daughter's stomach. In that moment, all the scattered pieces suddenly formed a complete picture. The mother wrote, I know this is not weight gain. My daughter has always been slim, her limbs are still thin, only her belly has grown. And I, a heavier woman, know the difference between belly fat and a pregnant belly. Her final sentence left me silent for a long time. I am completely lost. Dear friends, I don't know how you feel hearing this. Some say a mother knows her child best. But I would say a mother can also be the person most afraid of knowing the truth. Because once the truth is confirmed, she can never return to the state of not knowing. This mother now stands at a crossroads. She knows something, but not everything. What is she afraid of? That she's right? Or that she's wrong? If she's right, her daughter is only 14, with no boyfriend, what does that mean? If she's wrong, how does she even begin that conversation without hurting her daughter's dignity, without making her feel accused or shamed? This is a very particular kind of loneliness. You hold a piece of information that could shatter two people's peaceful lives, and yet you don't even know if it's real. You cannot confirm it because asking means confrontation. You cannot ignore it because you have already seen too much. There's a psychological term for this state, cognitive dissonance. Her original belief is my daughter is a normal 14-year-old girl, but new information keeps challenging that belief. Her mind is trying to reconcile the conflicting realities, and that process itself is full of anxiety and distress. There's a subtle detail in this story that stood out to me. She noticed the unused menstrual products, but she explained it away. She heard vomiting, but accepted the migraine explanation. She saw the clothing changes, but didn't question them. This is not carelessness. This is a mother unconsciously protecting herself. We often think that recognizing a problem requires courage. But sometimes, people who notice problems are actually delaying the moment of recognition with countless small excuses. Because once you know, you must face it. And facing it is one of the hardest things for any adult. She mentioned that her daughter doesn't have a boyfriend, but she knows her daughter likes her male best friend. She didn't say more, but that one sentence holds many possible stories. What I want to say is this: as a mother, you don't need all the answers right now. You don't need to know who, when, or why. What you need is to create a safe space where your daughter is willing to speak. And that is the hardest part. Because a 14-year-old girl is at an age where parents are often seen as the enemy, not because she hates you, but because she is learning to become an independent individual. In that process, parents naturally become the opposing force. So if you ask directly, "Are you pregnant?" she will most likely deny it. Not because she is lying, but because she is not ready to let you into her inner world. Friends, this story touches on something deeper. What stands between us and our children? Is it secrets? Lies? No, I think it is fear. Children fear, if I tell you the truth, you will stop loving me. Parents fear, if I know the truth, I won't know how to love you. That silence between them is not a lack of love, it is love so intense that neither dares to touch the most vulnerable place. But I want to say this: real love grows precisely in those fragile places. If you're listening tonight, I want to ask you, is there a drawer between you and your child that you've been afraid to open? Is there a truth you've been pretending not to see? If there is, maybe tonight is the moment to begin facing it. Not with interrogation. Not with confrontation. Just open the door a crack and let the light in. Because the most frightening thing about darkness is not the darkness itself, but what you imagine might be inside it. Good night. May we all have the courage to face the truth and the wisdom to respond with gentleness.